So I'm inspired to talk about the Chump and why I've been calling the occupier of our Oval Office the Chump for a long time. I have not given him what he really wants is his brand name to be used only. And he's really the biggest chump ever occupied any office or anywhere. So what's being revealed is why he truly is the chump, because pretty soon everybody is going to leave him up driving like the chump he is when they recognize. When we all see what many of us already have seen for a long time. I'm inspired to talk about this because of my classmates of 1962 from Summit, New Jersey High School. We've been having an email relationship. A certain number of us have been participating, and you know, the division has been created everywhere, including within our high school. And, you know, it's been how we've been able to be divided like this is no surprise to me. I mean, this is, we all know or have heard about divide and conquer idea. And we've all known about the Civil War and how families were divided. Well, you know, this division started a long time ago. This divisiveness. It's not a new story. But what we've got in our Oval Office is now a master divider. And he is, he's been intentionally working towards this for a long time. If you listen to the people that knew him best, including Schwartz, the guy that wrote his Art of the Deal for him, now recognizes the mistake he's made into helping to create the lies and the facade that we have. I just want everybody to know right off the bat, I have absolutely no hate in my heart for anybody, even this chump. I just feel more sorry for him than for anybody else. The idea, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. All of these things are coming true. So, why I've been calling him the chump is going to be obvious very soon. But allow me to just reiterate simply as to where we are and what a precarious position we are in now. And I also want to share with you that, you know, I've known Trump, not that I've ever personally met him one-to-one. I've been in an event in the advertising world where he was present, and I was very aware of him from the beginning when he had the New York social scene, because I was in the advertising world, 2 years older than he is. And I think he was 23 and I was 25 when all of that kind of stuff began. So, but I just wasn't fooled by him right off the start. I found him to be the phoniest, most brash, unappealing personality ever to uh, introduce himself to the humanity. And of course, I heard about the fact about his father and blah blah blah. Kind of, it was hard to not to be aware of him. If you were an aware person, you had to be aware of Trump's coming up and coming out. Um, so anyway, being in the world of advertising for a while, I was introduced to all these different tricks of how the advertisers trick people into buying their product, and that's also how the Chump got started. He realized that his name uh, uh, needed to be sold, and so he went about intentionally creating uh, his brand. He wasn't as clear about it as he became later on. Not that clarity is something that I can really assign to the Chum, because his clarity is very limited to the way his mind works. And those of you who are sticking with him because of your quote unquote conservative values, do you really think that he's conservative? I mean, by any definition, any of the definition that any conservative would like to claim, um, where is it? I mean, there are some good conservative values, um, and I'm not going to say any of it, because then they're just going to create arguments. So I don't believe in that separation either, conservatives and liberals, or the political divisions of Democrats and Republicans. Um, the world is now so mixed, so intertwined, that there is no clear anybody anywhere. Even if you were to say, okay, well, this is really a category, we are truly, each one of us is uniquely unique. And hardly any of us have been able to escape totally from being rubbed a certain way and coming out with a certain um, patina color, certain way that we have become. I became aware of this a long time ago, and I used a lot of my time to discover who I truly am, who is the am that's not only my initials, AM, but what's behind that amness that I am. And have been able to make peace with that a long time ago, even though it's been challenging along the way in many ways. In 76 years, I've been able to experience so much of life that I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for the fact that I've come out and sit in front of you in full integrity of who I am. I haven't always been completely like this, but now I've settled into my retirement years, and the only thing I retired from is trying to be anything. I've managed to go from the busyness of trying to become somebody, um, to being somebody, and then to being nobody. And that's the journey we must all make, is to go from to somebody we think you are, or we are, I am, who anybody is, to nobody. And the beauty of it is when you're able to do that, then where you find out is that you're everybody, because everybody is really the same substance. And so where we are now with this chump of a character who so many of you have been fooled by, um, and it's come out, he's a con man, he's a sociopath, he's a psychopath. This poor fellow has been just so destroyed by his own making, um, that it's sad. It's truly sad. The fact that what's even sadder is the fact that so many of you have voted for him, and that's which is why he's sitting in the office. He's not sitting in that office for any other reason except he was able to fool enough people to get in there. He he doesn't even have any idea what the word integrity means. He has no idea what any of those good things mean. So we must brace ourselves, because he obviously isn't relinquishing any of this power that all of you who voted for him bestowed upon him and put in his hands. God bless you. God bless all of us. How do we get out of this mess is yet to be seen. But he's just showing himself. He's hunkering down in his bunker, and bunkering down just like Hitler did in his bunker when he knew that the gig was up, and he knows the gig's up, but he's got enough followers who have absolutely the same amount of integrity as he does. So they have to keep up the pretenses, because that's what you got yourself into. And you've been saying it long enough, and been calling names of everybody else who doesn't fall into your trap. Of course, everybody falls into whatever trap they allow themselves to fall into, because the path you follow is what you choose. And the beauty of it is that you can choose again. You can always make another choice. And this is definitely the time to look at your choices. And don't worry about anything, because those of us who are on the other side of that coin, at least those of us who are us like I think of us, who are artists, and that's another tape that I'm going to show you, is what is a artist and who we are and how do we. But anyway, right now, the revelation of this chump coming out, and don't worry, because you're all forgiven, because that's the only mastery this poor fellow had, was how to con people, because that's the only thing he wanted to master. And he did it with his father's money, And then he did it with the money he stole. And, all the truth is going to be coming out. He's the biggest criminal that ever rose to that level in the world scene. He's even worse than Putin or any of the other strongmen. Why? Because Putin isn't kidding himself. He's in there. He knows. But this chump is lying to himself so badly that he is now. That's why he's like, that's why they call him with all these psychological disorders, because he's got them all. It's all covered up. There's no clarity. So I forgive you. I forgive all my trespassers. And it's just up to you to forgive yourself. And that's the beginning of clarity. So blessing unto all of us. May we all come to our, not senses, but may we all come to our hearts and be kind to one another. By the way, Mayana, my partner Mayana, started a blog called Internet Cafe, on which she posted this latest about kindness. It's about the kind. What kind of kindness are you willing to engage in? The only kind that's worth it. Well, anyway, God bless us all. And let's be kind to one another, starting with being kind to yourself. Namaste.